I was earning okay money, but somehow by the 20th of each month, my bank account was empty. It felt like the money just vanished into thin air. I'd check my balance and be shocked again. Every month felt like a losing game. I had tried to budget before, but it always ended in frustration. It felt like trying to put together a jigsaw puzzle with missing pieces and no picture on the box. I'd start with good intentions, then give up halfway. Nothing ever really made sense. I didn't think my spending was that bad until I looked closely. A coffee here, a snack there. Quick stops at Target just because all those little habits started to snowball. Turns out, small leaks sink big ships. Eventually, I realized I didn't just want to track where my money was going, I wanted to decide where it should go. I needed control, not just records. I wanted to be in charge of every dollar. That's when everything started to shift. Ever felt like your paycheck disappears the moment it hits your bank account? Yeah, me too. Hey there, I'm Bella and welcome to Money Talk, the channel where we break down personal finance without the fluff. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you won't miss any of our real money convos. This video is for educational purposes only and not financial advice. Just sharing my personal journey. In today's video, I'm walking you through my full 30-day experiment with zero-based budgeting. I'll break down what worked, what surprised me, and what I'll never do again. So grab a cup of coffee, maybe your budget notebook, and let's dive in. I gave every dollar a job before the month even started. I looked at what I'd need: rent, food, gas, savings, even a little fun money. Everything had a place and every dollar had a purpose. It felt empowering to have that control right at the start. I calculated my take-home pay after taxes and listed out my fixed bills. That included things like rent, my phone bill, and insurance. It gave me a really clear picture of my responsibilities. I stopped guessing and started being honest with myself. I made room for real life. Groceries, gas, and even a little entertainment budget were part of the plan. I didn't want to feel trapped or burned out halfway through the month. A little flexibility made all the difference. I didn't use any fancy apps, just a notebook, some colored pens, and a bit of time each week. It kept everything simple, visual, and easy to stick with. Honestly, I loved how low-tech it was. I started writing down everything I spent, literally everything. From the morning coffee to the smallest $2 parking meter. It felt tedious at first, but also incredibly revealing. I never realized how much those tiny purchases added up. Each night, I took 5 minutes before bed to review my spending. It became a ritual, as routine as brushing my teeth. It was short, but powerful. That quick check-in kept me grounded and honest. Patterns started to show up. I noticed I always ordered snacks late at night. Emotional spending was real. It was weirdly exciting to connect the dots. I was finally starting to understand why I was spending. I tried not to judge myself. Instead, I stayed curious about my choices. Like learning to eat better, you don't get mad at broccoli. I just observed, learned, and kept going. Halfway through the month, life threw a curveball. My car suddenly needed a repair. Instead of stressing out or giving up, I dipped into my emergency fund. That fund existed for this exact reason. And using it made me feel capable, not guilty. It was a reminder budgets are meant to flex with. Real life. I didn't see it as failure, I just moved some money around. I shifted dollars from my eating out category into auto repair and kept going. The important thing was, I didn't give up on the budget. I adapted, and that's what real progress looks like. I noticed I kept overspending on groceries every single week. Instead of feeling bad, I adjusted the budget to match reality. I also learned how to shop smarter and waste less. It felt empowering to recognize the pattern and respond to it. I used to think adjusting my budget meant I failed, but now I see it differently. Changing the numbers isn't giving up, it's being realistic and flexible. Just like rerouting when there's traffic. It keeps you moving forward. That's how real-life budgeting works. Some days, I'd open my budget and just feel embarrassed, like, wow, I really spent that much on stuff I barely remember. But instead of shutting down, I leaned into the discomfort. I reminded myself this was part of learning, not something to be ashamed of. I realized that budgeting wasn't about restriction. It was about taking care of myself. Like giving myself permission to feel secure. It was self-respect, not punishment. Future me deserves peace, and this was how I start building it. I used to buy things just to feel better, like, I had a bad day, so I deserved a treat, right? But then I started asking myself, wait, do I need this, or am I just trying to fix a feeling? That pause changed everything. It helped me make better choices with more intention. Every time I stayed under budget, it felt like a tiny victory. I know it sounds silly, but I'd honestly feel like I won the lottery. Celebrating those wins gave me the fuel to keep going. Small wins really do add up. Clarity was everything. Before this challenge, I was always guessing where my money went. But once I tracked every dollar, I felt like I had X-ray vision into my spending. No more I think I have enough for rent. I knew exactly what I had. That clarity gave me control. Saying no got easier. I used to feel bad about turning down invites or skipping a sale. But now I had a solid reason. It's not in the budget became my shield, and it actually felt empowering to protect my goals. Biggest challenge, consistency. It wasn't always easy to check in every single night. I had nights I forgot or just didn't feel like it. But I reminded myself, one missed day doesn't mean failure. I just picked up where I left off and kept going. Realizing my enough, I started to see that I didn't need to spend to feel joy, a sunset walk, a homemade dinner, a heart-to-heart with a friend. Those were rich moments. I finally felt full without spending a dime. That was a breakthrough. 30 days later, I realized I had saved $350 without making any extra money. Just by being intentional with what I already had, no side gigs, no crazy life hacks. Turns out, planning works. For the first time ever, I had a real emergency buffer. Not just praying nothing breaks before payday. Knowing I had a little cushion changed how I breathed. It's hard to describe that peace. I didn't feel scared checking my bank account anymore. No more mini heart attacks before opening my banking app. That small shift gave me so much confidence. It felt like I finally took the wheel of my own finances. I'm not going back to winging it. This budgeting system actually works with my lifestyle. It's flexible enough to fit my real life, not some perfect version of it. And that makes all the difference. So to sum it up, I budgeted every dollar I earned for 30 days, faced my spending habits head on, and came out with more clarity, control, and cash in my pocket. Budgeting isn't about deprivation, it's about direction, and once you see the power of it, you can't unsee it. If this inspired you, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and share it with a friend who might need a money reset. Have you ever tried zero-based budgeting? What worked or didn't? I'd love to hear your experience. Drop a comment below. This is Money Talk, Real Talk, Smart Money with Bella. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Remember, budgeting isn't boring, it's bold. See you in the next one.